I'm Catherine Valicia, Managing Director of Valicia Farms. We're in a beautiful patch of broccoli in Werribee South. We run a horticulture business here and we have for 3 generations. So valuing food to me as a grower and to I think all the growers in Werribee South is about getting people to really understand how much love, effort, risk goes into a humble piece of broccoli. So I guess valuing food for us is really about an educational piece, getting people to understand where their food comes from, how important it is, and particularly this area, how much we play an important part in the economy of Wyndham, in the economy of Victoria.
I'm an author, but I'm also a horticulturalist, and I've been growing my own food for over 45 years. And I teach people how to basically become reasonably self-sufficient at home when we're all living on much smaller blocks these days. And you know, there's so many places that people don't see that they can grow food. Front yard is a prime example. Growing organically, you know, making sure that they're limiting the fertilisers and so forth that they're using, so that we're kind to the soil, we leave a better footprint on the land, and we're better for it.
Paul, this is our community garden, Pacifica Community Garden. Our organisation is Pacifica Community of Australia, and it represents 10+ countries of Micronesian, Melanesian and Polynesia. Well, during the lockdown in 2020, a lot of our communities, so as other diverse community, impacted with mental health, and we were calling for a space for gardening, and our local council heard us, Wyndham, and we unexpectedly they gifted us with one of the government department, funded us with this space that all our young children from all ages and walk of life plant, and it makes us feel good connecting to, this is cultural therapy to us.
I feel like it gives me a break from everything. It's very peaceful and calming, and helps me calm down when I feel overwhelmed.
Gardening for me is a way of appreciating where our food actually comes from, and it also helps me connect with the land and other people.
So the community shed is really a hub of many different activities. We have woodwork, metalwork, ceramics, mosaics, but there's also a really strong sustainability element to the shed. So we have a community garden, people growing, cooking, sharing food. Also recently have installed a biodigester in the community garden. So we receive a lot of food here from Food Bank and from local businesses, but a lot of that fresh food is already turning. So the biodigester is a device in which you basically, in one end, put in food scraps and food waste, and in the other end there are 2 outputs. One is liquid fertiliser to grow more food, and the other one is gas, which can be used to cook food. The biodigester project is a joint initiative by Wyndham Park Community Centre and Open Table. It's a really great initiative that our community's taken on board very strongly, and we look forward to really growing that philosophy and mindset about sustainability in food here in Wyndham.
Look, I think it's vitally important that the Wyndham City Council do work with our community, and a great way to learn about food is through our community gardens, and to have seed banks. Because if we don't have the seeds, we can't have the community gardens. And what we've got to do is to make sure that we can involve all of our communities by having something that they can love and do. And so I think that's one way of having a very good system, is to have community gardens and to have seed banks.
Immigrants came here by boat and plane in the 40s and 50s, and they settled in Werribee South. They were living in train carriages, and they were working the land till they could afford to buy.
We didn't have nothing here when we come. We come with nothing. And then we start from scratch.
7 days a week, 12 hours a day, for £3 a week.
We had no time on a Sunday or Saturday to go anywhere.
This is a photo of my father-in-law Elio and Lino in their early days of farming on the land.
We used to plant cauliflowers by hand, and then to water them, used to run the water down the furrow, and with a tin or a milk can like that, put a handle onto it and get the water from the furrow and water each plant like that.
I think it's important to record that for future generations, and it's just incredible to see it thriving today as a food bowl. Every time I go past and see it, it gives me such a proud feeling that the people that have come before us.
We follow what our ancestors have taught us, and we're just great that we're able to continue planting in this space. In this space, we have our aunties and elders. We also have our young infants that comes from the age of 1-year-old and also up to our youth. They enjoy gardening. They are so happy when they feel the soil connecting to earth, and they continue to plant and also harvest at the same time. It is from in deep of our heart. Gardening, valuing food is within our heart, is something that international language. Food, we can all celebrate. It doesn't matter where you're from.
Growing food grounds us. You know, being able to get your hands dirty in the soil and produce something from seed to plate is a very satisfying thing to do.
Yeah, well, we created Veg Education so growers could directly speak to young people about their food, about valuing it, hopefully eating more of it, but also the career opportunities that are at their doorstep. Our businesses are sophisticated businesses with so many different roles. Think marketing, sales, quality control, logistics. So it's about opening up the doors and I guess the farm gates to young people so they can then walk through and be working side by side for us in the future.
We're just so ecstatic that they were able to come together and organise and plan this festival today. And as you can see, music, the joy, there's spaces for the children, face painting, jumping castle, seniors, youth, there's lots of spaces, and food tasting.
If you can grow a thistle, you can grow a lettuce. They're in the same family. So I know what I'd rather be pulling out of my garden. Pull out a thistle and replace it with lettuce. You know, it's just so simple. So yeah, just go and do it. That's the simple message in all this. Go and start.
It's about valuing our food, it's about valuing our industry, and it's about really taking notice of what's just on our doorstep for Wyndham as a whole.